Hey guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with Black Sail, Season 3, Episode 2.
Last episode, we found our crew again, and we were introduced to Blackbeard, who just showed up in Nassau. He's looking for Charles. They have history. I don't know why. I don't know what it's about.
A good one, bad one?
I don't know. Still, he might show up and try to take charge in Nassau because things are not as they should be in preparation for the war that the guys started, right? Jack is in charge of rebuilding the fort, except no one wants to rebuild the fort unless they get paid a shit ton, and it's never enough money because they know Jack can pay.
Yeah, they don't care about it.
Yeah, so it's stressing him out. Max is a bit afraid that she'll lose everything that she's built, right? Because she feels like it's built on sand, and at any shift, it's all gonna crumble. So she's thinking about potentially taking the treasure somewhere else and breaking her partnership, but that puts Anne in a very difficult position. Charles basically was convinced last episode to take slaves to rebuild the fort, so that's brushing him the wrong way, except the dream of having a strong, free Nassau is bigger than anything else, so still he feels that something bad is coming, right? They are preparing against a side that has also been preparing. They are other characters who were introduced, like Rogers?
Yeah,
who's the new governor of Nassau. And he's teamed up with Eleanor in order to civilize the place.
He basically offered a deal, or life against a list of names to take the charge of Nassau.
But she knows the place better than anyone, and he's determined, and he's got a shit ton of ships. So the storm that they see coming it exists, and it's there. It actually exists with Flint and John because they have been they are hunted by Hornigold and Jeffrain, and instead of taking the pardons or dying against them because they don't have the resources, they chose to sail right into an actual storm. So yeah, things are pretty intense already. So let's jump in this episode, see how things evolve. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full length of reactions. Let's go! This show looks good. You dreaming?
Yeah, for sure.
He's so hunted by her. He'd feel responsible because he took her there, right? Is that the death person?
I think that's the death person, yeah.
Kyuujin, please close the gap.
You went to take a nap in the middle of conflict? Rogue wave! What is about to happen is the reason why I would never do this job. Storms and shit on a ship like this?
He'll be withdrawing soon. He'll drive us into the storm, but he'll want no part of it himself.
I don't
Sure
know.
about that?
If we enter that storm under full sail, it may become impossible to take the candles in. If we take at least some of them now.
If he sees us slow, it'll only encourage him to press on and finish the job.
Yeah, you gotta pretend. It's so risky.
And what if he doesn't turn?
He's taking a gamble.
Taking and stowing all that sail will be a challenge. You'll see to leading the men in the rig when the time comes, yes? Yeah.
He was shipwrecked not that long ago.
We should have taken the pardons. Accept the pardons, then go straight back to the account. What the fuck would they do to us they weren't going to do anyway? I don't imagine Hornigold's offer still stands. If that's what you're asking.
For him, it's self-preservation always.
Perhaps that should have been a conversation. With the men, I understand. Flint had them exactly where he needed them. I understand why they would rather do battle with that storm than even consider surrendering to Hornigold. But he had me there too.
Good speeches.
And that is not supposed to happen.
He's not supposed to be manipulated by Flint.
Flint is good with his words also.
Where are my wits?
He is a big player.
Maybe he also feels angry at the loss of his leg, at the injustice of a lot of shit he's been through, and he wants to fight back. And like, Flint is good at getting those little emotions. He's turning into a pirate. That's what's happening.
150 soldiers, 60
Oh,
guns.
fuck.
My lead naval escort.
That's
Behind
one
her,
ship.
The HMS Rose, 48 guns.
That is a lot of guns.
30 guns.
Shit.
The Willing Mind, 20 guns.
And we have a fort that's broken down.
The amount of energy it took to persuade my investors to fund this, it's hard to properly convey.
And like, even if we rebuild the fort, it was destroyed by one ship.
He has a lot of them.
The Gloucestershire. She's the one I can do without. The moment I believe you are no longer necessary to this endeavor.
You're put on that ship.
You go on that ship, and soon thereafter you swing over Wapping.
So do your
You
job.
can't actually do any of those things. To slay Nassau, you must know her. I am the only one who can introduce you.
He cannot burn it to the ground either. He needs something there after to govern.
I need to know everything you know of Nassau. If you withhold, if you manipulate, you die.
It's a battle of manipulation and wits. She's met her match, maybe.
Losing the fort guarantees the loss of the gold.
What are you suggesting?
Yeah.
That we exchange it. Find partners and trade coin for commodities far easier to move and to protect.
With
If
the same
Nassau
value.
falls, we will have something to set aside to ensure our futures.
Our who?
Everybody.
Mine and Anne's.
Good old Jack gets buried beneath a pile of rubble while you two begin a well-funded life of leisure.
Yeah, okay, the three-way thing, not working. Well, we knew that already, but...
Of course she would choose you. It would pain her to leave me behind. But you, without you, there is no her.
I kind of believe that. But she's saying she'd leave her behind too.
I am asking because I know there is one thing we share.
Caring about her.
We both love her.
But she's not gonna enjoy that at all. If they make plans without her, if she plans to fucking
Let's
go...
make sure her future at least is secure.
It's complicated because she has a point.
It is smart to change the goal into something more easily transferable, right?
Yeah, but that's also not what they said they were gonna do to these guys. Shit.
We're gonna lose the ship.
I wouldn't
right?
want to be these guys.
We are so gonna lose the ship.
We could lose the ship, but we could also lose all the crew. It is fucking terrifying, man. Have you seen videos of like cargo
Yes.
ships in the sea?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've seen them.
Oh my god.
And they have holes in the
Yeah.
ship too. Oh shit.
And like his leg is fucking infected.
I can finish it. I'm useless till I'm up top.
He's still trying to pretend that he's whole and nothing has changed, but
Got our share of useless fucks on this crew. You ain't one.
Thank you.
All the shit we've been through the last few months. Do you want to know what the most terrifying part of all of it's been? We'll take care of you.
He wants to take care of himself.
I know what it's like to be afraid of being the one ain't strong enough to stick. But it don't work that way here. And even if it did, it wouldn't work like that for you.
you've earned her respect.
The crew got your back, John.
Like, even if you can't pull your weight, it's too late. They love you too much.
I mean, it's like with Randall, right? People
Well-
love Randall.
Yeah. He's the new Rendell? That's what you're saying?
The rig won't hold! We must break the sails before we lose the mast!
They're not turning, right?
Take down the course and the digger!
Oh, they are turning again.
It's done! It's filling up by the mast!
Oh my fucking god. I hate this. I love this, but I hate this.
How does one persuade an island full of thieves and murderers to respect the authority of a 17-year-old girl?
I identified the one they were most afraid of, and I threw him off the island.
What was his name?
Charles Vane.
His name was Edward
Oh.
Teach.
Charles happened later.
Oh, so she got rid of Blackbeard?
And now that she's no longer there, he's coming back.
Eventually, I isolated him from all of his former allies until it was just him and his protege.
Charles?
Had they stayed together, they might have resisted me.
But he was in love.
And once he'd sided with me, Teach had no choice but to withdraw.
So you've been a bitch all along.
And the protege, what was his name?
His name was Charles Vane.
For sure.
Yeah, we know what she did with that man.
But then that also implies that their relationship has always been a way for her to get power. Never really because she does, but
I feel bad for Charles.
yeah. And now an old mentor is coming back.
Eleanor, you always been a bitch, man.
Betrayed his mentor, betrayed Edward Teach.
He was in love.
For you.
I had a good offer to give him.
Are you gonna sleep with Charles too?
I was fucking him.
I can't do that.
You wouldn't want to say it.
I was fully prepared to set foot on that island and say his name. Put my credibility at risk based solely on your counsel. And it was all to settle a personal feud with a former lover.
It doesn't matter in a grand scheme of things.
Because I have history with Charles Vane, I know him most of all. The Lord Governor Ashe underestimated him and Charlestown burned. What is it you would like to have him take from you?
Why in God's name would I trust you?
You took her here. You brought her here.
Because we have mutual self-interest.
Survival. Like, honestly, after all of this is done, if she sees an opening to backstab this guy and take charge,
She will.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it a dagger? Are you happy to see me?
Honey, I'm home.
I harbored such resentment in that moment all those years ago when you turned your back on me. She did it all for a girl.
Who betrayed you at the end?
And yeah, he can say, I told you so. Come on, we can be friends. I taught you well.
Sorry, old friend.
Okay, I guess he's a man. He understands what it's like. He's like, oh, everyone can fall for a girl one day, but...
What happened between she and I?
He's so tall.
So if you returned looking for some sort of apology from me, then you can go fuck yourself.
If you think I've been sitting around waiting for an apology all this time, I don't know what to tell you.
Then why are you here?
Whose is that? Man of war out there.
Ours.
I love that he didn't say mine.
Who's ours?
Nassau.
I have partners in a compact toward the common defense of this place.
Let's go.
Where?
I'd like to meet these partners of yours.
Those that don't know what to do with their money are struggling to understand where the future is. Yay! About to meet Blackbeard, man.
It's like for a parent to meet your friends.
Don't embarrass me in front of my dad.
In front of my friends.
But if Blackbeard is the dad,
Yeah.
oh, he's the one you don't want to embarrass. Eh, shit. Honestly, they survived this. A rogue wave.
Rogue wave!
But no, but it could be.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
This is really, really bad. Oh shit! Ah shit! He's stuck. He might have to leave him here to die. After everything they just said. The ship is like this. There was people on there. Yep.
Oh,
he knew he had.
fuck.
Yep. He sent them up there to do this, and then he had to sacrifice them. But like, at this point, it is their lives for everyone else's. Is it ideal? No. Again, this is his job, though, making the hard choices.
They say the worst of it don't last long. What the water does to you, it makes you cold, makes you scared. But then it warms you, and then it settles you. It doesn't sound so bad. God, go on!
It's not even quick, man. He's right there with them, too.
No! Fuck!
You didn't want to get involved, but that... You spend so much time with this crew, they care for you, they look out for you. You'll get close.
Rack,
That's my name.
you were the scrawny one. Was trying so desperately to join Charles's first crew. Flint, I can understand. This is your third partner.
Hey, he's
This
proved
man.
himself.
Why are you so determined to defend Nassau?
Because Henry Avery set his camp here and said this is a place for free men. And because you sailed from here, made this place feared. Benjamin Hornigold and Sam Bellamy gave Nassau life.
And you think your name belongs in that list?
He wants it to
He
be
wants
there.
to have his own legacy also.
We hear you're taking on new men.
He comes here with the legacy. Because, like, if he shows up and that's all it takes to destroy what they've created.
It's a settled notion that in order to join a crew of any repute, you had to prove his worth. Now all a man need do is say, please.
Yeah, things have changed.
You want us to fight each other for this?
Okay.
But he does have a point though. You cannot just go and expect to receive things without proving that you deserve
It's
it.
that these guys are claiming to be part of this legacy, and they're weak. That's how he sees it.
You have taken away the one thing that made Nassau what it was. You have given her prosperity. Strife is good. For if a man is capable of confronting death daily, functioning in the face of it, there's no telling what else that man can do. And a man whose limits cannot be known.
Now you have men who are in
I see
comfort.
crews filled with men who have only ever won a prize through surrender.
No struggle.
I returned to go on the account as I know it. Because in this place, I believed I could find the men necessary to do so. And in particular, one man that I thought worthy of standing alongside me at the head of a terrible fleet.
Papa est pas
I
content.
wonder if he's still here.
Daddy is angry.
But is it really what we need for this place to live along? That's the question.
On the long run?
Is that a yes?
It is. Put his
Because I
hand
don't
and he
know,
squeezed too tight.
He just made two friends kill each other to add one guy to his crew. I'm like, maybe back in the day that's how things were and that makes a strong pirate. But if we need this place to survive in the long run, we kind of need a bit of both. Yeah, he is right that this place has gone to shit. People are way too comfortable. They're happy with their money and they're not being careful with it. That is true.
I mean, there is an army that is coming, so we need to have men ready for it.
I am committed to defending the gold. I cannot imagine failure, but I cannot deny the potential for it either. We'll organize the exchanges, gold for things of equal value. We'll keep it quiet. Only as many men as it takes to secure the transactions. I do not want my partners, Captains Flint or Vane, to hear about it.
Because they didn't sign for this. He was just told by Blackbeard that this is not gonna work. So he's making sure they're not just gonna die under all the rubble.
Just crash there.
But it is true. That it's exactly what we were saying about Max taking some gold away.
What did you say to change his mind?
That it was for your benefit, her benefit, and that you were gonna stay with him.
He spoke of how I must stay, must find a way to enter into their world. I believe you would want to enter it with me. But if we are honest with each other, I think we both know. Stop.
She's making a choice for her.
No matter our feelings, the world will demand that you and I...
She's kind of doing what Eleanor did, and that is hypocritical, considering how she reacted to Eleanor choosing her business over her.
I mean, does she understand now why Eleanor had to do it back then?
Dot, close the hatch! Close the hatch! Where's the captain?
At the wheel. Is he the only one out there?
Looks like it. Someone needs to keep it steady. He tied himself and he's just, yep. To be fair, it is this plan. If one of them has to stay out, I believe it should be him.
Oh, shit.
Whew.
Welcome aboard.
I engaged Captain Flint as promised. I pressed my advantage and drove him already battered into a tempest. I patrolled the area extensively and recovered several pieces of fresh debris.
What kind of debris?
The definitive kind.
Oh, I don't think he's dead, but what's left of the ship is questionable. What's left of the crew, very questionable.
He's not dead.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were washed away and, like, he's on a piece of rubble somewhere. I can't read lips.
Right now she's saying, Flint, goddammit, you're such a fool, you're stupid, what the fuck are you doing?
This is not a good sign.
It is a character of death from the play, right?
It kind of feels like she's warning him or something. Oh, ship is still standing. That's a surprise.
We're not moving.
Are they stuck?
The storm drove us east into the Sargasso Sea. We are becalmed.
Most of the fresh water was lost to the flooding in the storm.
Oh.
The food that could be salvaged, we have a few days.
How far to the nearest coast?
About 3 times that.
Oh, shit.
The too calm after the storm.
What do we do now?
The fresh water is going to be a problem. The food, you could maybe work around that, but the water,
And you cannot drink salt, seawater because you're gonna get.
No, I know. It's kind of like the situation where they found the captain, except now it's the whole fucking crew that's gonna be there, and eventually they'll turn to like crazy solutions. But
God damn it.
I kind of want to say you decided to go into the storm, but that the other choice was not really better. I guess they had the pardons, except I don't know if they would have offered them to everyone on that ship, even though they promised they would. That was part of the plan. They were there because of Rogers. They were there because of Eleanor, like, and her insight. Maybe that's Flint's name that was on that paper, that you need to kill Flint. So it could have been bait. It could have been like, oh, we're offering pardons because you have no chance of whatever, knowing they would not accept them because they understand his character because of Eleanor, and then driving them to their deaths. So I can see though why, like, whether or not it's true, we don't know, right? They wouldn't know. So right now for them on the ship, they're thinking that if Flint had accepted the pardons, they could have, even if they just pretended to accept them, they would not be in this mess. And that's after the storm. So after messing up the ship, after losing half the sails, after losing some of the men, for John, after losing a close friend and having him die right there, holding his arm. Yeah. That is a huge toll to take, and that's something they can put on Flint's shoulders as like his fault. Even if I put myself in Flint's shoes, I don't really see another solution that would make sense. Because the pardons, I don't believe in them.
Me neither.
Just like he doesn't believe in them. His reason for not taking the pardons is purely personal. Because John is right? Like, we could have pretended to take them and whatever, we'd still be alive. But for him, it's a matter of pride. And his pride is worth dying for. Whereas for John, it's all about survival.
Yeah, but when you're in charge of a crew, in charge of men, you need to put their lives in priority
first.
Yeah.
That is something I enjoy about John's change, like how his character has moved and evolved through the season so far. Because at first it was truly just about him. It was about survival, but only his own. Only his own. Gosh, I'm putting H's everywhere. Only his own, right? Now, he has felt like he's become a part of something. He's found friends, people that trust him, and people that, like, even though, like, he's really struggling with his handicap, and I feel like he has a hard time accepting that this is him now. He's trying to move like he used to. He's trying to be helpful, because he knows that in his head, if he becomes a heavyweight, like if he becomes dead weight, and they have to procure for him, not only is he losing pride, but he also becomes expendable, right? So that's how he's used to things. That's how he sees life. But it's no longer true. They look at him like a friend. They respect him because of his mind, because of what he's brought, because of how he made them survive. So even if he is dead weight, they will love him, they will support him, and they will look after him. So what they're telling him helps him deal with his trauma of now being different and having to carry on. So this is all great. Losing one of them, though, that's gotta suck, because no longer is he looking for survival only for himself. Now I think he's adding the crew to that because they make him feel better, because they connect with him, and because they made him feel important. And he was against like the whole madness that Flint was getting himself in. So it's gonna create tensions. I know we see the thumbnail for the next episode, and it's him, John, and Flint together. Maybe it's time to confront one another, because Flint is making decisions that is putting himself and others at risk. Whereas I'm not saying he wasn't like that before, but now it's grown to an extreme. Whereas John has gone from only looking after himself to now thinking of the crew too. So he cannot let that continue. And in any case, now they're fucking stuck. So, and he's not alone too. Like, Billy understands that we need Flint to achieve their dream and to protect Nassau and create this empire of theirs, right? Like, to create this way of living to survive, except that he also sees Flint put them in positions where people are in danger, and then he makes the hard choices of sacrificing more men to save the few that he put in danger.
Yeah.
Not that he could have done anything else, right? Because Flint will always be the guy, even though it takes a toll on him, even though like it's not easy to live with. He's always going to be the guy that makes the hard choices. He did it with him. He did it with Billy.
True.
So that's not new. And like if you start to understand Flint, you start to see how strong of a man he is, except now he's fucking like disturbed with his grief.
If you think about it, Flint is exactly the type of man that Blackbeard is looking for. He's thinking of, right?
I think he would like him right now.
Yeah.
But my question is that what we need in order to sustain? Because like this way of doing things only leads to death. This is how I see it. There is no future in a place where like you gotta kill to survive, because eventually there's no one else left, right? And if you have no one else, like basically we need a little bit of the past and a little bit of the future, of the present. Yeah, well, unity is a big thing. Like I don't think we should embrace how he said, like, you know, you gotta beat each other up and the survivor gets to join my crew because we only need strong men. Yes, that crew will be fucking terrifying and you will fear them and you will respect them because of that. They'll make a name for themselves. But then in this war, the more men we have, the better. It's just that now, like the way they're doing this in Nassau, it's kind of like we have too many men who don't understand what's at stake. So we need a bit of both. We need the unity, but we also need to strengthen the understanding that we're all working towards one goal. So it is complicated. I'm guessing that like Blackbeard's speech resonated a lot with everyone there because it is true. Like Jack is realizing that this will not work. He wants it to work.
I mean, when you think about it, when you're living in comfort, you may not be as alert as you should be, right? You don't think that you're gonna.
They've grown soft.
You grow soft. You think that I'm gonna be lucky because I have money, and what could happen to me?
It's basically that they're riding the coattails of those that created Nassau.
Yeah.
The first pirates, the ones whose name they remember, right? The one like Jack wants to be a part of this team of big names, and it's about his legacy, right? Except that it's not like he comes to an island that has nothing on it. He says he wants to do that. Like he says he wants to use his money to create a city in a place that like no one has been or no one is supposed to live. Like he wants to be one of these guys, except he's been given an island that already exists and that has fallen into a state of stillness. Like they believe no one is going to bother them. They've been settled here for a while, so it's not like they have to fight to be here. Whereas the first ones, Blackbeard, Henry Avery, all of these guys, when they came here, there was nothing, so they had to build it from scratch.
Yeah.
They fought for what they ended up having. They built this, and now they're gone, and those that are left are just happy to have it, but they don't understand what it takes to keep it.
I mean, I do love what Blackbeard.
Why are you struggling with beard?
And what Teach said, that back in the days, people had to show their worth to join a crew, right? Prove that they deserve to be a part of it.
It was a cruel world, and they needed to be ruthless.
But now, people come and they say, can I join your crew, please?
Well,
without showing the credits.
He's an OG pirate. So for him, it's a sign of softness. It's like these guys have never faced challenge or you know, harshness and just they've never struggled.
It's the fact that people expect to receive things without proving that they deserve it.
It's a generation, but it's a generation thing. They created a place where these guys could enjoy their little peace. Except now war has come to their door and they're not ready to face it because they still live in that mentality of we're fine, right? And they've never struggled in their life. So he comes back and he sees the state of this and he's disappointed that what they created, what they've built has crumbled. And guys like Jack or even Charles, they claim to want to fight for this place, except they're surrounded by people who don't...
idiots.
They don't have what it takes. And they're making stupid decisions and no one is helping them. We said it last episode, you cannot do this if the people working with you don't understand what's necessary.
Steps, yeah.
So, and like Jack's solution, because he's looking after Anne, because he wants to make sure that they have an escape, they are like, despite what they promised Charles and Flint, they are preparing to have their escape. They're basically going to make sure that they have money stashed away, even though that's not necessarily their money to take like that, right? They are going to stash stuff, exchange it for goods, so that if things, well, for Max, it's when things crumble, she can build upon, like, basically the British are going to show up, they're going to take over, and then from there, she's going to make her way up, and Jack gets to flee with Anne and have his escape.
Yeah.
Basically, they're saying that, yeah, we're going to help you out, but in their minds, they're saying, it's fucking doomed, so when it crumbles, I'm not going to be stuck here. Max is completely set on this, and she is also, we'll talk about her later, but like she's completely like, I think she's given up on that dream because she knows that there's no protecting the money if it stays here. Jack is still saying, I am completely willing to do what's necessary and fight for this gold, to stay here and fight for the fort and fight for Nassau. But if he has to
flee,
weigh Nassau against Anne and himself, he's also like, he looks after himself. He's going to protect the both of them. He's going to protect them, right? So he's going to flee. So that is not going to play well with Flint or Charles. Charles is all about creating a strong Nassau that fights for itself. So Blackbeard's speech might shake him enough to be like, okay, we need to make things differently. Like, we need to change how this is done because we've been too soft, right? Because he has something that's very, like, in his heart to defend.
Yeah.
And he hates it, man.
I did say, but I would love to see Teach put the... Edward Teach, sorry.
So we say Jack, we don't say Rackham. So the only one we say, like, his last name is Flint. Because I think we recognize Flint more than James.
Yeah. I mean, Edward Teach, Blackbeard. I mean, I would love to see him put Nassau into shape and just take control and put some order.
He might team up. He's eager to team up with Charles. So he might team up with Charles and try to do something about this. But again, his way... I feel like it's gonna be like
too old school,
kind of like a berserker thing of my last stand. I'd rather die like than submit. But then once this is over, there's not gonna be any stability. So I don't know. Like, I'll have to see what he wants. More of him, maybe.
He's more of a dog eat world, right?
I guess he's all about. He's about strength over unity, and we kind of need unity. That's what we said, right? So we need a bit of both. Yeah. And if he's not willing to change some of his ways, I don't know if he's going to create a future here that's going to last. But it's to be seen. Again, like I said, I'm saying that because I want to challenge his view a little bit, but everything that Jack has been doing with Charles, that's not working either. Because they're literally, like, Jack... is struggling to keep his crew, like, in shape, and, like, they're making stupid decisions. They're losing money.
I mean, that one guy who lost 2 pouch.
Yeah. He has no control. The people are just too comfortable, and he has no control. And Charles has accepted, like, he went back on his word, and he went against his values, and he is employing slaves to create a dream that might not even be strong enough to defend itself later on. So, it's not doing well. And we might have lost, like, I don't know what's going to happen to Flint's crew, but they are in deep shit. And he's the face of this movement.
I was not really surprised, but okay, to learn that Eleanor was a bitch since she was 17.
I'm not surprised. And I don't think she was completely, like, her relationship with Charles had emotions in it.
I don't know, but, I mean, in her head, it's always been about using him for her own good.
I think that it was a perk.
Most of the time.
No, but I think it was a perk. And she might have used him to begin with, and then it turned into, like, she did go back to him many times. Like, there is an element of freedom, there's an element of danger, and she likes that with him, right? He challenges her. So to completely say that she used him for her own advancement, I don't believe that. I think that
it changed over time, right?
He changed.
No. Her relationship with Charles changed over time. Right?
She might have started by using him in order to have
take
her
control
place,
of Nassau.
And then that turned into an actual relationship. But then after that, it was challenged by the fact that once again, she wanted more of a position, and as long as she was with Charles, she was his woman. and not a strong, independent businesswoman like she wanted to be. So that's always been the problem, right? Like they both are very strong. They both want that strength. And when they're together, instead of pushing each other up and be stronger together, they challenge each other and they throw shade to the other one. So, but still, like, I'm not surprised. It's always been about business for her, even when emotions were involved, just like with Max. So I'm going back to that a little bit. But, you know, at the beginning of the show, she chose business over running away with Max, even though she could have had a happy life with Max, safe away from all that shit. She stayed back, and now she's lost her whole fucking, like, enterprise. But that's why I'm not surprised either. Like, she doesn't want to die, so she's, you know, teaming up with Rogers. Except I wouldn't be surprised either if she backstabbed him somewhere along the way, if she saw an opportunity to take back, like, what she thinks is hers, or if she tried to manipulate her way into more of his good graces so she can have a share. So
yeah,
I don't think she's over, but right now she's fighting for survival, and it's always been about that. So with Max, it made sense. Like, in order to survive, in order to settle her future and have that strength that she desperately needed, she pushed away a relationship with Max. And Max reacted really badly, betrayed Eleanor down the line, went against her. Everything she did kind of was fueled by this, on top of, you know, her need to take control and no longer be manipulated. So now to have her do the same shit to Anne, because it is the same shit. She is choosing her future and her business. The only way she could, you know, convince Jack to do this with her and secure her future was to give her Anne.
Is to convince him that you need to save Anne's future. In the long run, she will choose. If she doesn't have you, she will not be Anne anymore.
But she knows that Anne needs Jack, and I believe that is true. She said it herself last season. There is no Anne without Jack. There's no Jack without Anne. They come as a pair. Even though she says also that she can be his wife. Now she's kind of saying, like, I can't just be yours, right? Like, she is still in that relationship with Max, and she truly cares about Max. And I feel like Max also loves her, just like Eleanor loved Max, except that, kind of like what I'm saying, like, if Jack has to choose between Nassau and Anne, I think he'll choose Anne. I think if Max has to choose between her safety and Anne's, she'll choose hers. Her safety. Yeah. She'll choose her future, because she's too afraid
to go back to
how it used to be. Exactly. She'll prefer to be in charge. She'll prefer to be safe and in control. And it sucks. It sucks, and it's a bit hypocritical, but
yes,
I guess she is now in Eleanor's shoes, so she kind of understands.
She understands why she made that choice, yeah.
Tables have turned. But I'm loving Blackbeard.
Yeah.
He strikes you as a very strong, like, man with a legacy behind his name, and you get why, like, Jack is saying, I want to be like
I want to be like
Eleanor was saying that, you know, you know Jack Rackham, I know that all he cares about is his legacy and stuff. Like, I guess, I mean, his name will also be remembered, so he will be one of these guys, but still, like, to find amongst those pirates that we know the pirate that is the legend, and like, dude, I bow to you, man. And I kind of want to see what he could do if he teamed up with Charles.
Yeah.
To be seen. Still, in the meantime, we'll have to save Flint's crew. So, next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week. So we're going to see you then, guys.
Bye.